are live. It's Pinot time. Welcome Thursdays. We have had so much fun with everybody these past, I believe.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. I think 2 months, 10 weeks. Who the heck's counting? I don't know. Pinot time. Tuesdays in the cellars. We've had a blast with everybody. And Ben and I are back again. Here we are. We got our fish. We got our grapes. Oh, wait, our grapes. What else? What else do we have? But more importantly, grapes are right here, right? And we are going to be transitioning next month to Wednesdays at 4 p.m., same time, same place for our wine, whatever. And Wednesdays, we're going to have some special guests on to kind of mix it up a little. I think Ben's getting sick of me. I don't possibly know how, but
it's out of my wheelhouse of being a winemaker. It is a little bit different. And it's really funny watching my words come out and then my lips move. So.
Little does Ben know we're totally dubbing him. He never says any of the words that are coming out of his mouth. I am kidding. All right, so today, hey, Joy Melania is on. We absolutely love it. So today we are drinking some 2017s simply because, number one, we can. And number two, both of these wines just got 92 points at the Wine Spectator. Oh, my sister's on. Cheers, cheers, Jen. You guys know Jennifer from St. Augustine,
Jennifer,
Florida. But yeah, Jen's tuning in. Good, because I guilted her earlier on the phone. Anyways, Ben, apparently, fraudulently, I demand a recount. I believe he won the Sabre off on Tuesday. And so, Ben, you get to pick which wine we are drinking first.
Good. Okay, so we're going to drink the 2017 Russian River Valley. And I'm going to pour myself some, but I would like to say and comment about the savoring of the
oh, I can't wait.
Sparkling wine. I had to rewatch that again, and after watching it, after I discovered I did not savor that cork out, I beat it out of the bottle.
Hold on. So am I the winner?
No.
I watched dodgeball last night, and there's rules, and you had to forfeit. So I'm thinking maybe you had to forfeit, and I'm actually the winner.
Well, I used a saber and a bottle, and instead of sabering it, I beat the cork out of the bottle.
You did beat the cork out of the bottle. You know what? Whatever it takes to open a bottle, I can't wait. Jonathan's on, Ross is on, Kevin's on. I'm loving it, you guys. Thank you.
Welcome back.
Rochelle's supposed to be on. She's going to tell us what she's doing with chicken in a little bit, and Sarah should be on. Just my couple little shout outs to you guys. But yeah, Ben, well, luckily, Ben, for you today, we're drinking Pinot, and all you need is a cork puller. You don't need a saber. Pretty easy to open your bottle of wine. So were you able to open your bottle of wine today?
This time I was able to. I didn't have to beat it out of it. Yeah, so the cork did come out with the little Coke.
Now you guys understand my working conditions is all I'm going to say. All right, so talk to me about the 17 Russian River Valley blend.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about 17 as the year of a very tragic fire through our area. And we were very fortunate. We were early again. We in the days past, in early 2000s, we would get fruit from the beginning of September all the way through the end of October. Well, things have changed. The weather's changed in our area, and we can actually see it pretty drastically since we start usually right around Labor Day, and we were finished. I think we started a little bit into August in 17, and we were finished by the third week in September, done and finished. So that meant that everything had to come in all about at the same time. So
and you guys did a lot of work in a very little bit of time compared to normal.
It was fast and furious, as they say. So we were busy morning, noon, and night with these. But the fruit was beautiful, and we were very, very fortunate to get everything in before we had to deal with the fires, and they were pretty drastic. You know, a lot of people lost a lot of things. My mom lost her house in that fire. So
my friend lost his house in the fire. Yeah, my boyfriend actually lost his house in the fire.
But the wine stayed safe, and and it stayed so well that the Wine Spectator awarded it 92 points just lately. So we were pretty excited about that.
We like excuses to try to open the wine. So points, Thursdays, the fact that my kid passes math test, any of these reasons for us are excuses to open a bottle. We love it. Wine is best shared amongst friends. So we're thrilled everybody's joining us. Cheers, Ben.
Cheers.
Check us. Can you cheers me? Yeah, ching,
Yeah,
ching.
I went right over to your side.
You totally did. I'll drink your wine. I'm totally cool with that.
Well,
no, in 20. What's that?
I was just going to say, just looking at the color of this, it's a little lighter than normal, but what it loses in color, it makes up in the nose and the palate. With this here, it's like right off the bat, you get red fruits and toast from the barrel, a little barrel right at the beginning, and this one provides really beautiful cherry, raspberry, and pomegranate. I get all those lovely fruits that come right out. And that's what I was saying earlier about drinking these Pinots a little younger. All these really beautiful fruits that are shown, really, they're in the glass and you can taste them. And that's what I like about Pinot. As I
know, I agree with you, and it's funny you talk about these bright fruit notes. For some reason, to me, so the 2017 vintage has something different about it. I don't know if it was that big heat spike. Everything came in at once. So some things, because of the whole picking schedule, were a touch under perfect and a touch over when the grapes came in. But the blending, and this, by the way, everybody, is where, oh crap, where is he? The winemaker has that's him, has all of the power and everything. And, Ben constantly says, well, the vineyard the vineyard brings this fruit, the vineyard does it. Ben, you are amazing in your skill on when the wine come in, the grapes come in, and knowing what to do with them, how long to ferment them, what yeast to put in there, when to pick them. All these factors, tiny factors, make a difference. And 17 has something different about it. And it's delicious. I am loving these 17s. I think they're beautiful. And this Russian River, which is a compilation of all the Russian River vineyards, right, is really showcasing.
Yeah, it's the parts that we don't use in the vineyard designates and the special wines we make. But the wine that all these wines are really beautiful. They just spend a little less time in newer oak. So they're all pretty much the same fruit we're dealing with. But I had to, I digress for a moment. My cousin Shireen came to visit with her whole family. And she looked out over the whole floor. All the bins are out there. And
she looked at the winery.
Yeah, she said to me, "What are you going to do with all these grapes?" I go,
"Drink it.
We're going to make wine. What do you think?"
I can answer that one. It is great. We actually at the winery we actually have a new employee, Jamie, and she is our shipping girl. And in the very back of the winery, if you visited us, in our back where all the bins, all the production, everything happens, is a little back area where I usually sit, and Dan in the back office, and Jamie now sits. Ben's got an office there too. We sit back there during production, and I was just telling them this yesterday. You open the door, and Ben will measure maybe 2 to 3 inches for a little leeway, and then there will be a bin come production. So when we say Jamie's on. Jamie, I told you this, didn't I? When we say we fill our entire back area with the bins, Ben is correct. Our grapes come in by clone by vineyard. We sort, we ferment in these bins. And so if you come visit us on harvest, which we would love it, our entire back area is literally these bins covered up, and we can hardly find our way out at the end of the day.
It's a maze, but they're all marked, and we're always thinking like 3 steps ahead of ourselves, because you don't want to lock any of the bins in the back. Then you'll have to move everything out of the way.
Or employees.
Yeah, or employees.
Our employees. I'm glad we come second.
Just be careful though. That door we can move a bin up against.
It does. I've almost been tempted to climb through barrel to bins, but I'm terrified of being sucked under by the grapes. So
we've lost a few people in the bin. We had to drag them out of the bin.
Yeah, to do.
Show a picture.
What?
we should show a picture of the fermenters.
I know what to do. I didn't pre-plan. I apologize, but yeah, I got it. We have to, in order to leave the building, we have to do punch down. And by the way, we have a CO2 monitor in the back office because I joke if they haven't heard from us in a while, please come check on us. Could be, yeah, we could be past that. Yeah, the back office too. So these are the interesting parts of walking for a small vineyard. But oh my gosh, we massively by the way totally digressed, which is great. Oh, good, Ron. Ron, if you didn't join in, I was going to get worried about you. Nunez is saying the punch downs are good to keep everybody in shape. That is true. That's why I got these done right here.
If you see how we do it, we have to punch the caps. So what happens is as the grapes are fermenting, the juice is released. The juice stays on the bottom, but the CO2 pushes the solids up to the top and usually gets maybe a foot, maybe a foot and a half thick. So it's really compacted. And so 3 times a day, we have these round punchers that we push the cap back in. So what we're trying to do is the juice and the skin together is able to draw the color out of the juice draws the color out of the skin. So, and it also cools the bins down a little bit. During fermentation, we want to keep the temperatures down. So we punch around 3 times a day, and that's about every 8 hours. So it takes hours to do it. It might take 2 to 3 hours to do it, start, and then to go through the whole program and then take a break, eat lunch, do whatever, and then come back and do it again. And then in the evening, we do it again. So what happens is you get the motion. It looks like guys on gondolas in Venice.
They should sing.
Yeah, so they got practice. We can put them to work on off season doing gondolas.
I'm gonna tell a story, and I will not name names, but I know there is somebody I have talked to that may allegedly or may not work at Papapietro Perry, who that was his pickup tactic. He would, at the bars late at night, go, I'm a winemaker, and if you want to come back to the winery with me and do a little punch down, we could possibly, could use the help. That may not have happened. I could have read about that in a story, or I heard about it at lunch. I'm not positive. Well done, pickup line. Those are called Sonoma County pickup lines.
I might be accused of that, but I'm happily married, so I usually
you're right, Ben. No, Yolanda, it wasn't Ben. It totally was Ben.
I usually don't make the night punch because that's why I hire people to do that. So I usually take the evening off. That's
two reasons Ben doesn't do that. Number one, because he's earned that right, and number two, legalities. What he doesn't know can't hurt him. Right? Oh my God! If I get in trouble for that, I'm
finding out all new stuff now. Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. I don't think he's on here anyway, so I don't think you heard me. Yeah, Nuna's glad it wasn't Ben. Lisa is saying, yeah, lunch. Our lunches are legendary. She is correct. Everything is planned around those lunches. When I first started working at Papapietro Perry, they asked me if I had any dietary restrictions. I said, no, I'll gladly bring my lunch, whatnot. I eat better for lunch than dinner. You guys make salmon niçoise. We do fried chicken. I think he had, I went into the winery, whatever day it was. He had fish and chips.
Etouffee,
ridiculous shrimp and grits. Yeah, and it's always at noon. So if you time your visit right, next time.
Well, I'd like to say something, though, which is kind of unusual. Both Kristen and Dan, Dan is our engineer.
We call him Dan in the back office.
Have come to work at Papapietro Perry, not being a fan of Pinot Noir.
Oh, crap. You heard me when I said that last time.
And so it's pretty interesting that we've converted our 2 key people into really liking Pinot Noir these days. So.
Ben, we don't like Pinot Noir. We like your Pinot Noir. We love your Pinot Noir, and you are correct. Your wines are great. Okay, Ross is on. Lisa's talking about paella. You are right. We make paella. Dang it, we were going to do paella this upcoming Saturday. We will get that again. Oh, Jamie said chicken curry was today. Jamie, get used to curry. It's delicious. Yolanda was telling us she was looking over our recipes. They all look great. Yolanda, our recipes are amazing. Dave's our assistant winemaker. He cooks. Jim, CIA trained chef. He cooks. Ben cooks. Yeah, I'm sorry, not 1,000 pounds. And Jonathan, better than mac and cheese and dinosaur nuggets. Jonathan, nothing is better than that. Let me be clear, especially with a rosemary sprig.
Such style.
I always have style. Oh, Dan is shooting me a little note. He said he has opened more Pinot now. What was the note say? I've opened more Pinot in the last 2 years than I have in the past 20. I'm going to go and say probably 40. I will tell you once, though, I gave up drinking once for 20 years. I did not have a drop of Pinot. You know why? Because then I turned 21. Dun, dun. All right.
Oh.
Sorry.
I'm going to get the hook.
Damn, that was a dad joke. All right, talk to me about this 17,777. Oh, 17 Russian River.
So I think we've pretty well touched on that. It's compelling wine. I'm really proud of this, and I know we've talked about what to have with it, and I know that Tyson's a big fan of the Russian River, so he said anything with mushrooms in it would be, because the earthiness of this and the earthy mineraliness of this really, and then again it has that bright acidity that carries right through to the end. So balance is the key to this.
It ages beautifully. The blend ages beautifully, right? Is that because it is a blend of, actually, question now that I'm thinking about it, does this have clones in it? Or are all the clones used for the single vineyard and the clones?
Every Pinot is a clone. So
my bad. Does this have 7 clones and Pomard in it?
it has everything in it. I mean, the Russian River has a little bit of all the stuff that we didn't use for each one of the vineyard designates and the special wines, but not always a lot of 777, except I do get a lot of 77 to mix. So usually some of that 777 will end up in the Russian River also, because we kind of spread it around, really looking for balance. So we use the tasting system that we use. We know what we did the year before, so that's where we start. And then we take all the little pieces of the vineyard that we're going to put back together again, and then try different ways of approaching it. And then until we finally match what we're looking for, and then we taste it and like it. And then we bring in I give Jim and a couple other people, what do you think? Tell me what you think about this. And so if they pick the ones that we've picked, then we know we've done a good job. Yeah. So
and these age beautifully. Because it's a blend, these age absolutely gorgeous. The blends do.
But they also, because they're blend, you have a lot more different characteristics of it. So each year it's different. It's one of the Russian River and the Sonoma Coast are the two wines that we make that are different palates every year. We know the Laris and the Peters and all that. They're all pretty much the same from year to year because of our consistency and the way we work with the same vineyard and the same blocks every year. But the Russian River is one that it usually is never the same. And so it gives me the opportunity to fool around with all the different parts of it, which is kind of cool. It's a little cooler than just putting one vineyard together. This I have.
Your artist palette.
Yeah.
Right? Your artist palette.
So to have the Wine Spectator name this wine, give it 92 points, I'm very proud about that, So
very good.
Yeah.
Look how delicious it was. It's empty. Well, luckily, we're going to another wine. And Ross, by the way, I got your text, and I'm not saying that. That's all I'm going to say. All right, 17. 17 already. 777 Clone, which is, I know, one of Karen Russell's favorites. A lot of people love this as a favorite. We've discussed the 777 blend multiple times on why it's called 777. It involves Ben, gambling, and Vegas.
Yeah.
I just said the story there, right? Ben won so much money gambling in Vegas, he was able to open a winery.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That's the gist of the story.
I like that story.
Just actually selling wine in Vegas by myself one night. I was through selling, it was all done, and so I went to a couple dollar machines, and we had already done the blend of the single clone part, so we've already started working with that. And then that late at night, I'm playing and got a lucky streak, won I pulled one handle and I got
$1 million.
$12 the next one. Pulled that one and I looked at this one for 2,500, and then like shocked. This one hit for 1,000, so I had 3,500. But the guy came out to pay me with the tax thing. I had to give a Social Security right off the top because the machine only pays a certain amount. Then you win a big payment like that, they come and take. I said, but I put like $500 in it. Oh, too bad. You only get to pay for what you win.
Did you get your room comped?
No, not for that. No.
Well, at least
you got to spend a lot of money to get comps these days.
I was trying to say you spend millions of dollars, and that's why we had the winery.
Yeah, that would be a fictitious story.
Now you ruined my story.
What was that?
No one's fact-checking us.
Well, stories then.
Yeah.
Well, the 777 though. Anyway, I came back in 2006 with all this money in my pocket, and it hit me that when I saw all the sevens there, it's saying to me, that's what Las Vegas needs. A Pinot Noir, a 777 clone Pinot Noir for high rollers. So
you are always the winner when you have this in your glass, right, Ben?
You bet.
You like that? That was good.
Yeah, so we have the 5 vineyards. Now it's 4 vineyards. We lost one of the vineyards, was sold, and then they didn't keep up with it. So it's Peters, Laris, Booker, and Nunes, 777 clone from those 4 vineyards that we use for this blend.
I was just handed a note that says Dijon clones were named by the guy receiving them based on the return address on the package.
That's true.
Oh, I don't know about that one. That's an interesting story. I know I've been to Dijon. Dijon is north of Beaune, and that's where they grow lots of great Pinot. I think that's where one of the Domaine La Romanée-Conti is in the northern Dijon area, and the Dijon clones are, that's all. Everybody grows Dijon clones in the Russian River along with heritage clones. So some of those heritage clones are named Beringer or Swan or whatever, were from guys that went to France with a suitcase and made cuttings and brought them back, grew them on their property, and then they didn't know what they were, so they named them after the guy that was growing them. So Joe Swan and Beringer and those guys got named for it.
That's where the name Dijon clones, they were sent over.
Oh, he's going to tell me more later. Ron is telling me the 777 we tasted at the winery was the reason we joined the wine club.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
That's one way to guarantee our wines. Kathleen's telling me hello from Utah. We love the 777. Kathleen, we can ship to Utah, right? It's undercover.
Oh, we can?
Huh?
We can do it to Utah?
Well, we can, but it's a very secret way. You got to tell us from, have you been to, I'm trying to pop her thing up.
Don't tell them anything. I know nothing.
Kanab, is that how you pronounce that? Kanab, Utah. Kathleen, your picture is not Utah, by the way. Oh, it could be. It could be Salt Lake, I guess. That's all. I'm just saying Kanab. I wonder if that was the correct way to pronounce it. Anzon, your sister-in-law. Nunes says we have 2 blocks at 777, and they're both very different. Well, that is interesting. So, I guess it does make sense, right? So you can have one single vineyard, different rows, and the rows are very different. So
different blocks, different soils, different microclimates within a vineyard.
Right.
And so different blocks produce different, so that's why the idea of planting lots of different clones on a vineyard makes sense, because it changes. If you only have one clone in one vineyard, you've got a one-dimensional. Yeah, this way that you have a lot of different complexities, different flavors, and it builds when you have layers, and that makes it much more interesting. That's why I really have kind of gone to Pinot as the wine I really wanted to make, because of the interest.
Pinot's fun. Yeah. Well, so I'm gonna tie that back to family because this is how I understand things. I am one of 6 children. I have the same mom. I've got the same dad as 5 other people. We were raised in the same household. So we are the same clone, raised in the same vineyard. We are very different. We all are amazing. We are all great, but we're different. And so that's actually kind of fun if I think about it that way. You're right.
You know why? You know why? It's the vintage.
Oh yeah, you're true. I was raised earlier than some of my siblings, which means I'm better. So that is a good point.
I don't know, better. It's you're more age worthy.
My sister who's on is older than me, so I was safe, very safe saying that.
Well, she handed out the
what?
band of Kristen at the tasting we did in Florida. We had all these buttons with your picture on them. She handed it to everybody. Fan of you.
Kristen's Wine Club. I'm like, oh my God, poor Ben and Yolanda don't know what to do with that. David saying there are no bad wines from Papapietro Perry. David, I actually agree with you. They're all different, but like a great restaurant, everything is great. My problem is you are correct. Ben, you are consistent. We have said this. I have said this year after year, bottle after bottle. And if you like the winemaker and you like the wines we produce, you're going to find a consistency in that with all the wines. And your wines are absolutely delicious. Yes.
Well, we've spent a lot of time over the years working with the same growers. And those vineyards that we first started working with over 20 years ago now are 20 years older, more mature. So the fruit that's coming out of there is much more mature. So, but working with the same vineyards, with the same process in mind, to replicate from year to year what that vineyard has to offer is how we approached making Pinot Noir. And I think what we really wanted to do is we didn't want to go off, recreate the wheel every year. It makes no sense. You have a good product and a good vineyard that you're sourcing fruit from, you want to display that year in and year out, every year the same, instead of it bothered me when I was a consumer, when I would taste a wine from somebody that was really good and then next year it was terrible.
But the other piece on that, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you have been working with the same vineyard, let's just throw Nunez out there because they're here today. If you are working with Nunez year in and year after year in and year out, you are also learning as the winemaker, you're learning Nunez vineyard. So you're now going, well, these are some of the characteristics I can come to expect, I can come to know, and now, ooh, what do I want to do with these? Here we go. And this is where this beautiful marriage of a word, right, comes into play. You are a piece of the puzzle. The vineyard is a piece of the puzzle. The grower is a piece of this puzzle. And these 3 pieces, when they come together, creates this beautiful symphony in this glass. And that is what, well, you know, you're like, ooh, this is good. But really, when you start getting into it, you're going, oh, now I'm understanding some of these little factors that come into making a delicious bottle and glass of wine.
Well, that's why we loved Pinot Noir to begin with. It's an interesting wine. It has many, many layers. And the wine goes with food, which is the most important thing for me. It goes with food. And it doesn't matter what you cook. Pinot, if you go to dinner with a lot of people in a restaurant and everybody has fish or meat or pasta or vegetarian or whatever, you can rest assured if you buy a bottle of Pinot Noir to go along with it, it will go along well. Whereas maybe a Syrah or a Zin or a Cab even may not, may be really good with some.
Pinot is much more versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes with multiple things. Ron is saying, which I agree with, I'm going to pop his comment up. I enjoy varying the wines I buy because I love them all and want to taste as many different wines as I can. I've never been disappointed. Ron, that is a phenomenal way to learn your palate. You start learning what you like and what works for you. I also do believe wine has the people you are with and drinking wine with is a difference. I can have a phenomenal, amazing, expensive bottle of wine, right? Expense is what we usually tag our wines with some crappy people and not as good. And I can have I can have a good bottle of wine, my everyday drinking wine, with some great people and have a good time. And when you pair a great bottle and great experience, it just makes everything seem
memorable for sure.
Right. Kevin is asking, because I love Kevin. I have a Papapietro Perry, 17 Zin. Should I hold it? Well, Kevin, considering 18 was as deep as you went in the cellar, I'm going to say
that's well aged. It seems like it's well aged for Kevin.
It's well aged for Kevin. Hey, Kevin, drink it, but I will tell you, our Zins age beautifully. They turn into some chocolate covered cherries. Is my theory on these Zins. If you forgot about it for 5 or 6 years, you're not going to be disappointed at all. You're not going to be upset.
Won't be disappointed.
No, all of the wines.
Now I have more. We could always
more. That's the closest thing. To be clear, we have more, but yeah, our wines absolutely age beautifully, which is why, as the wine club manager, when you guys get your wine club allocations, I always raid their cellar and pull out more wines and offer them to you, because my theory is we've aged them for you and they're delicious. Super fun. No, dang it, wine is so good. What is the problem? Wine is so much fun with stuff. All right, so I'm giving the wrap up signal. To be clear, he wants to cheers me. Cheers. Cheer that. Oh, Ben wants to. Oh, Ben, Dan. Oh, I know. Oh, sorry.
I'm over on your side now. You know,
I'm getting directions from here and here. So, anyways, everybody, thank you again for joining us. Ben is tired of me. So we are going to, as of June, transition to one time a week. We are going to move this to Wine Wednesdays, but I am turning into Wine and Whatever Wednesdays. We are going to have, if you tune in on Wednesday, Vincenzo Martinelli, which is one of our favorite musicians. He's a classic Latin guitarist. He's done a couple cruises with us. He's come up to visit the winery, and he's actually going to tune into us from Australia before his dental appointment, if I'm correct. He's going to come on and do like some, do a song for us or do something. Should be amazing. I am super excited. So
we're just sorry you're not going to be able to party with him, because we would have been leaving this weekend for our trip to Barcelona.
We had a Barcelona to Athens cruise scheduled for June 7th. We were at the winery all going to be leaving by Monday to meet over in Barcelona. And yeah, we are
heartbroken.
We are beyond heartbroken. So at least we got Vincenzo. And if you guys have been big fans of our Facebook, back in 2017, we actually sat Vincenzo in a bin of grapes. He serenaded the 2017 Nunes Vineyard Pinot Noir. So we are going to open the 2017 Nunes.
He sang, I heard the grapevine.
And yeah, he sang a couple songs. We're going to make him sing to us again. We're going to see if it made a difference, but we're going to do that on this first Wednesday. And we hope you join us every Wednesday after 4 p.m. Pacific time. And again, so thrilled you guys are joining us. Oh, in regards to opening, my bad. We can't quite open yet. Our ABC, our state, we're not able to open the winery quite yet. You must provide a meal. A sandwich, salad is not a meal. And so we're working on the state, we're working on the county for the guidelines on what we need to do. And hopefully we're going to be open at least by July, if not the next couple of weeks. The minute we open, if you are on our mailing list, we will shoot you an email. Probably going to open to wine club members first. So if you want to join our wine club and get invited, shoot me an email or join online, papapietro-perry.com. We'd love to see everybody. We are super excited to open again. We're super excited to see you guys on Wednesday.
And we appreciate your support. I mean, the support for our little program and for the winery is appreciated. Thank you so much, and cheers to you.
Absolutely. We're a small business. Thank you. Cheers. Clink, clink. See you guys Wednesday.